So we've just witnessed an absolute thriller of a match in the Asian Champions League between India and South Korea. Now, just to give you a bit of a background, coming into this match, India had already secured their spot in the semi-finals, and alongside Korea were the only other team that were undefeated. Now, a win here for either of the sides would pretty much ensure that they stayed on top. India stay on top now thanks to this win. 3-2 victory, but truth be told, it was not an easy win. Before we go into how the match, let's say, or the learnings which you had for, if you're an Indian fan, if you're an Indian hockey fan, what are the learnings or the things you picked up from these matches, the interesting talking points? Let's quickly recap how it is the match played out. So India ended up taking an early lead courtesy of Neelkanta Sharma, 1-0 up, but almost instantly the South Koreans hit back through Kim Sung-hyun. It was a pretty quick, let's say, response. So good on them. They managed to get the equalizer, but it was Harmanpreet Singh who ended up converting a penalty corner, a rarity if you're an Indian fan, that PCs actually get converted. He ended up converting the penalty corner and restoring India's lead. It was 3-0 after that. It was 2-1, sorry, thereafter. And India, for the most part, were comfortable till the half-time period. Thereafter, in the third quarter, Mandeep ended up scoring from a very well made, let's say, field goal. And India were 3-1 up at that point, and it seemed like the game was over. But again, 2 goals, considering the fact you were in the third quarter and you still had over 15 minutes left, would not have seemed like a very massive deficit. And true enough, that's how it proved. Ji Hoon Yang ended up scoring a late goal in the fourth quarter, and South Korea did end up going for the match, let's say, or going for the equalizer, because they ended up taking off their goalkeeper, bringing on another attacker, but to no avail. India managed to hold off towards the end, and it finished 3-2 in India's favor. So good news there, or at least that is the good news coming out of this particular match. Now, couple of talking points. Obviously, one of the major problems when it comes to India scoring goals is that more often than not they end up scoring through open chances, and of course, as has been talked about by even head coach Craig Fulton, by even skipper Harmanpreet Singh, all of them have mentioned the fact that India need to get better at converting penalty corners. In this case, India didn't get too many penalty corners. They did at least though manage to end up converting one, so that's a big plus in that regard. And the other good thing was that despite the fact that they conceded a lot of penalty corners, well, it didn't actually end up costing them. Of course, that is of course thanks to their rather wonderful first rusher, Kalidas. Thanks to him, you ended up actually denying the South Koreans a few clear opportunities. And it's worth remembering, the South Korea team, no pushovers by any stretch of the imagination. This is a team that are, of course, the defending champions coming into this edition of the tournament. So they are a side or force to be reckoned with. So India beating them is, of course, pretty good news. Of course, it ensures that India stay atop the table for at least a little while longer. So that's also massively good news. India currently unbeaten in this tournament. So that's even better news. Of course, there were still things that they could work on. At times the defense looked a little porous. They did give away a lot of chances to South Korea, and South Korea actually, if they had to be a little more clinical, may just have been walking away with all of the points from this particular encounter. As it stands though, they weren't clinical. India managed to hold on and also take their own chances, and therefore, well, they are currently sitting atop of the group standings, already through to the semis. Now, that's the breaking news update from our end on this particular match. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, if you enjoy our work, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. For now though, from my side, I'm bidding you goodbye, but we might just be joining you if there's some more interesting happenings from the world of sport.